Dr. J and Moses Malone on the Philadelphia 76ers, Sidney Moncrief on the Milwaukee Bucks, Isaiah Thomas, Bill Laimbeer and the Bad Boy Pistons, Dominique Wilkins on the Atlanta Hawks, Bernard King on the New York Knicks, Michael Jordan on the Chicago Bulls, Hakeem Olajuwon and Ralph Sampson on the Houston Rockets, and of course, Magic Johnson, James Worthy, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the Los Angeles Lakers. All right, there's no point avoiding it any longer.
That was a lot of Hall of Famers, legendary basketball players, just all-stars, people that are literally, like he said, the best basketball players in history. And Larry Bird made them all look like rookies. Let's get it. We back with another Larry Bird reaction. We got making a case. They're going to be talking about why Larry Bird is the GOAT. A lot of us already know why he is the GOAT. So if you're new to the channel, you didn't know that Larry Bird was the GOAT, take a second here. Get comfortable because you're about to find out. But in the meantime, if you're new to the channel, it's your boy DtaeNoDinero. And this is Dtae Reacts, the best reaction channel in the nation. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and comment below if you got any questions or you got any videos you want me to check out. Also, check out the Larry Bird playlist that you can see on my channel. Go straight to my channel, go to playlist, Larry Bird video on there. You can catch up on all the Larry Bird reactions that I've done so far. I appreciate everybody that's been coming back to the channel and liking the video. And let's get to this video because I don't want to talk y'all head off. Yeah, I know we don't like them long intros. So let's get to it. Silly.
Basketball is special. The size of the court and the lack of pads or helmets give fans the most intimate experience of a team sport that exists. And because of the different styles that basketball allows for, players develop their own distinct identities and signature styles through their creativity, flair, and athleticism. And although no player succeeds alone, the scoring volume and two-way nature of the sport give individual stars a nearly unprecedented amount of control over the flow and outcome of a game. For this reason, players are constantly compared to their peers and to the legends of the past in order to answer the most hotly contested question in the sport: who's the greatest to ever do it? For many, the question is redundant. They believe in only one right answer, their answer. Others might have their own personal stance, but acknowledge one or two alternatives. But I believe that there's much more nuance to the question of greatness and more answers to it than you might think. By my count, there are 8 players in NBA history that have a substantial claim as the GOAT. It's a subjective thing though. I can't give you a definitive answer. All I can do is make the argument. So today, I'll be making the case for Larry Bird as the greatest basketball player of all time.
Shout out to that boy Larry Bird. Only one basketball dance though, y'all. Remember, we can do all of this debates about GOAT talk all we want. It's only gonna be one basketball.
When it comes
dance.
to basketball, Larry Bird is the smartest, clutchest player to ever play the game. Now, if you don't think that Larry Bird is the greatest basketball player of all time, you probably hate that I just said that.
Hold on. I don't hate that you just said that. I actually agree with you, brother. I do think Larry Bird is the smartest and greatest basketball player to do that. But did y'all not just see that shot that he just made? Look at that shot, man. That
When it
shot
comes to
was
basketball,
crazy.
Larry Bird is the smartest, clutchest player to ever play the game. Now, if you don't think that Larry Bird is the greatest basketball player of all time, you probably hate that I just said that. Those are the kind of talking head sport cliches that surely impact the game but are impossible to empirically measure. Normally, I'd agree with you, but I think that when you talk about Larry Bird, you see those intangibles become real, palpable results. I wouldn't have said it if I didn't believe it. When Larry Bird was drafted by the Boston Celtics in 1978, the NBA needed saving. Attendance was in the toilet, the league had few marketable stars, cocaine addiction had several players in its grasp, and most damning of all, playoff games were being tape delayed. Playoff games at the highest level of basketball were being put in the back seat for black and white movies and network reruns. But rather than join the Celtics after being taken 3rd overall, Larry Bird decided to return for his final year at Indiana State, a decision that would prove to be one of the most important in the history of the sport. Bird's final year saw the Sycamores tear through college basketball, going 33-0 before the national championship game. Bird, already claimed by the NBA's most historic and prestigious franchise, had established himself as the generational talent who would inherit the mantle of pro basketball. Indiana State's opponent in the national championship was Michigan State, captained by the immortal Irvin "Magic" Johnson. The Sycamores lost the championship to the more talented Spartans in the highest-rated game in the history of basketball at any level still to this day. The stage had been set. The next decade of basketball would be defined by the rivalry between the white hick from French Lick and his Boston Celtics and the black Magic and his Showtime Lakers. The rivalry between Bird and Johnson is entwined into the fabric of the NBA and is worthy of 100 documentaries. In this video though, we're going to be looking at Bird's claim of supremacy. Here's Bird's basketball resume. His 3 championships come with perhaps the highest collective degree of difficulty of any player's championships. His 3 MVPs came consecutively, making him only the 3rd player to accomplish the feat, along with Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain. His 2 finals MVPs are misleading. He was absolutely the best player on the '81 Celtics, but he was only a sophomore, and his 15 points per game in the finals gave the media an excuse to exact a little vengeance on a legendarily difficult interview. His All-Star and first-team selections also come with the caveat that Bird only played for 13 seasons and missed all but 6 games of the '89 season following surgeries on both feet. I can hear you already. A 13-year career, and this guy is supposed to be the GOAT? What color of paint are you huffing, Clayton? Green, obviously. But hear me out. Yeah, Bird's career lasted about 2/3 as long as it should have. But what he did in that time was so impressive and so substantial that every basketball fan acknowledges that he's in the conversation as the greatest ever. Doesn't it matter that those 13 years saved professional basketball, delivered a disproportionate amount of memorable moments, defined the golden age of the league, and produced a career by which all other forwards, before or since, are measured? Bird squeezed every season look like? A full box score, a blowout win, a nearly undefeated record at home, and a play style that could only be described one way: white. Larry Bird isn't just a white basketball player, he's the white basketball player. To describe Larry Bird's game is to thumb through the Hoops dictionary and pick out every cliche about white players. Unathletic, great shooter, good fundamentals, the whole thing. The archetype of a white basketball player is Larry Bird, with one exception. He had an unparalleled player. Jerry West called him nearly as perfect as you can get. He was the league's first great marksman. He could contort his body to shoot from anywhere on the court, regardless of the level of defense. He pioneered the art of the dagger 3 and was the founding member of the 50-40-90 club. At 6'9", Bird's understanding of angles and coordination led to a higher rebounding average than Patrick Ewing, and it made him an impressively adept finisher in his younger years.
Ooh.
86, Bird dropped 47 points on the Blazers, playing the majority of the game left-handed. His lack of quick lateral movement meant that Bird didn't do much when it came to slapping the floor and picking up the opposing point guard, but his size and omniscience gave him the ability to body similarly sized players, read defenses like a free safety, and pick off passing lanes with ease. His passing was transcendent, and I'll highlight it later. And of course you need to know that Larry Bird was a tough effort. He had a superhuman motor and dove for loose balls like a beagle at the park. He was a willing participant in his share of fights, often precipitated by his league-renowned trash talk.
Bird told Robert Reedy the other day that he should have stayed in preaching. That was funny. He had 50 points.
I was guarding in my rookie year. He looked at me and he goes, "You can't stop me." And I looked at him and I said, "Gosh, boy, you're so confident." He proceeded to score like 10 straight points on me. The coach took me out the game. He walks by and he's laughing at me.
He was a basketball genius. He'd be a step ahead, a thought ahead, play the game like a chess game.
I'd much rather guard Michael Jordan than Larry Bird because you have to play the game as a thinker when you're playing him. You have to get inside his mind.
If you put all of us in a room, Magic, Jordan, myself, and Bird probably be the guy who walks out of the room at the end of the day.
Did you notice something during those testimonies? Those are some of the best basketball players of all time, and they all sing Bird's praises like they were former assassins who had to go toe-to-toe with John Wick and they're just happy to be alive. Bird excelled during one of the most talent-rich periods in league history. The abridged list of his basketball rivals goes like this: Dr. J and Moses Malone on the Philadelphia 76ers, Sidney Moncrief on the Milwaukee Bucks, Isaiah Thomas, Bill Laimbeer and the Bad Boy Pistons, Dominique Wilkins on the Atlanta Hawks, Bernard King on the New York Knicks, Michael Jordan on the Chicago Bulls, Hakeem Olajuwon and Ralph Sampson on the Houston Rockets, and of course, Magic Johnson, James Worthy, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the Los Angeles Lakers. All right, there's no point avoiding it any longer.
That was a lot of Hall of Famers, legendary basketball players, just all-stars, people that are literally, like you said, the best basketball players in history. And Larry Bird made them all look like rookies. Don't get me wrong, he had to battle with them all, but the things that he did with his team and the way that they considered themselves to be so great, Larry Bird made them look like nothing. He like the guy said, that's why I always give respect to everyone. Magic, Michael Jordan, Isaiah Thomas, who was that, Dr. J, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They all give Larry Bird his recognition. It's just these new generation people don't look at Larry Bird as to really being a GOAT. So now they come up with all of these different excuses of why someone else is the GOAT. The man said that he only played two-thirds of his career, two-thirds of what typical NBA players play in basketball. Like, he didn't play that long. If he would have played longer, we all know this on this channel, but just another direct message again to any newcomers that haven't been here. You know, if he played any longer, Larry Bird probably would have been topping the charts on scoring points, and probably didn't got another 2 more rings under his belt to match up to Magic's. Just so many more accolades that he could have accomplished. But drop some in the comments what y'all think about the video so far, because I want to know. Also, if you're still here, like the video. That way we can get them likes up. Y'all been doing very well with all the videos so far. I really appreciate y'all. We've had 200 likes, we had several videos over 200 likes just in the last week, and I really appreciate y'all for helping my channel grow. Let's keep the growth going. Let's get the numbers up. I don't want to put a crazy number out there, but I like it. I'm humble, I'm grateful, so let's just keep doing what we've been doing. Drop some in the comments, and let's get back to the video.
You have to look at Magic versus Larry. If you have Magic over Larry, it's because he has 5 rings to Larry's 3, had a peak that lasted about 2 or 3 years longer than Larry's, and had a 2-1 record against Bird's Celtics in the finals. Perfectly legitimate, completely respectable arguments. But in the interest of making Bird's case, allow me to retort. For nearly the entire decade of the 1980s, the Eastern Conference was irrefutably the more competitive conference between the two. Yep. Considering the competition, for Bird to have made 5 finals appearances is just as impressive as Magic's 9. As for the head-to-head record responsible for Magic's 2 extra titles, he had more help. Seriously, the Celtics' Big 3 and the Lakers' Big 3 get compared all the time historically as if they were of equal caliber, but weren't Magic's accomplices just a step above Bird's? No disrespect at all to Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish, but Kareem was the alpha dog on the 71 Bucks and was the best player for at least 2 of the Lakers' 5 titles. James Worthy was the #1 pick out of UNC after winning a championship as the best player on a team that had Michael Jordan on it. Throw in the fact that Magic got to be coached by Pat Riley, one of the most brilliant minds in basketball history, and you could say that the Magic-Bird argument comes down to one thing: luck. So if their careers come down to luck, the question just becomes who you would rather take. Now, I'm not making this video to tell you why you shouldn't take Magic. I'm making this video to tell you why you should take Bird. Not just over Magic, but over everybody. One thing that helps him is the fact that his play would translate perfectly into the league today. A 6'9" sharpshooting forward with eyes in the back of his head who averaged double-digit rebounds in an era against Moses and Lambeer. He'd gobble up boards as a power forward. He'd be an offensive mismatch against everybody as a small ball center, and his off-ball skills and passing would pair perfectly with the flow of today's game. Add in his competitive mania and 3 generations worth of medical advancements, and we're talking about a player who could have stuck around so long they would have had to rename the league. As you've been watching these clips of Bird, I would hope that you would notice something. He always knows where everybody is. Watching Bird play basketball is like watching those monsters from A Quiet Place that know where you are if you make any noise at all. Bird had a level of clairvoyance that bordered on the unnatural. In '85, he ended up 1 steal away from a quadruple-double after playing just the first 3 quarters. His passing was famously infectious and helped transform the Celtics of the 80s into an ideal that basketball teams at all levels are still shown tape of. They moved the ball with precision and intent, always looking for better shots and determined to get the entire team involved in the effort. That fact is almost entirely attributable to Bird and his wizardry with the ball. This acumen also helped Bird become the only player with a GOAT claim to transition successfully into other basketball roles after his playing career. In his 3 years as the head coach of the Pacers, Bird won a Coach of the Year award, coached the Pacers to their first and only finals appearance, and gave Michael Jordan as much trouble as he'd ever gotten in his career in the '98 Eastern Conference Finals. After moving into a front office role for Indiana, he won Executive of the Year in 2012, becoming the only person to have an MVP, Coach of the Year, and Executive of the Year award.
Wow.
On the court or off of it, inside and out, Larry Bird sees basketball as only he can. That intelligence also lent itself to Bird's defining skill, making the big plays. Remember, NBA players get paid to win games. James Harden is getting paid nearly $40 million this year because he's supposed to help the Rockets win games. Victory can be achieved in a lot of ways.
I don't know what's going on, y'all, but we're going to pause it, and then hopefully everything start working again.
And the win column doesn't care how it happens. As Mark Sinclair once said,
It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
but when your team is down 1 in a crucial playoff game with 8 seconds left, and you need to hit a shot to stay in the series and keep your season alive, that's where players really separate themselves and earn their money.
Fact.
Love it or hate it, it's the players that come through in the big moments that live forever in our memories. Some players,
What is going on? I was all into the video, wasn't y'all? I don't know what's going on, y'all. I don't know if that's his video or if it's me or what, but let's give it a try again. I don't want to have to end the video here. We still only got 6 minutes left of the video, but it's just weird just acting like this.
for whatever reason, were never able to do it consistently. Some players were truly outstanding at it. Larry Bird was the best at it.
So let's go back. Sorry about the misunderstanding.
But when your team is down 1 in a crucial playoff game with 8 seconds left, and you need to hit a shot to stay in the series and keep your season alive, that's where players really separate themselves and earn their money. Love it or hate it, it's the players that come through in the big moments that live forever in our memories. Some players, for whatever reason, were never able to do it consistently. Some players were truly outstanding at it. Larry Bird was the best at it.
Yes, he was.
I'm not going to give you the stats about his field goal shooting under 2 minutes with a score that's this close, or tell you who has the most buzzer beaters or any of that.
Take that for data.
I'm just going to show you clutch moments in clutch situations. 1985 against the Blazers. Bird drops 48 points, including this. Down 1 with 2 seconds left.
Inbound pass, the double team and Bird. Larry, fake, fall away.
That's the crazy shot.
1985 against the Hawks. Bird sets the Celtics scoring record with 60 points with shots like these.
They open the right side. Bird the fall away. He drills it again. That's the best shooting I've ever seen.
1986 against the Rockets. Not all of Bird's clutch moments were singular. The bigger the moment, the bigger his performance. In Game 6 of the 1986 NBA Finals, Bird clinches the championship with a triple-double in what he calls the best game he ever played.
2 seconds on the shot clock. Bird wants a 3 out of it. He gets it.
1987 against the Washington Bullets. Bird hits one shot to tie it before it's waved off because of a timeout. Hits another shot to tie it up for real.
Crowd is standing up. It goes now to Bird. Bird goes up top.
And then in double overtime, down 1, he does this.
It's going to go to Bird. He's got a shot.
Both shots off 1 foot. Wow. They were sick. Like, how did he
For
do
3
that?
years, from 1986 to 1988, the three-point contest knew no other champion but Larry Bird.
Still got to drop one here quickly. 14. This is a tie for the money.
And was that before the ball even went in?
1987 Eastern Conference Finals, Game 5. Tied at 2 games apiece against the Bad Boy Pistons, this enormous game would put the winner 1 game away from the NBA Finals. The Pistons are up 1 with seconds remaining. The ball goes out of bounds off the Celtics. Isaiah Thomas just needs to inbound the ball to win the game.
Now there's a steal by Bird. Underneath the Dtae, lays it in. Right at 1 second left. What a play by Bird. Bird stole the inbounding pass.
There are truly too many big games and big moments for me to go through without this ending up as a documentary. But that all leads me to this, what I really want to talk about. 1987 NBA Finals, Game 4 against the Lakers. LA is up 2-1, and the Celtics need to win to tie the series and stay alive. Bird hits a 3 with 12 seconds left to go up by 2.
Bird goes for 3.
Kareem comes down and gets fouled with 8 seconds left. He makes the first, but misses the second. LA ends up with the ball with 7 seconds left, down 1 point.
In the low post, being guarded by Dennis Johnson.
Byron Scott is in the ball game now.
Magic hits this, the baby skyhook.
Magic with a hook shot. Scores with 2.
2 seconds left, down 1.
Dennis Johnson on the inbound. Bird fires it.
What do you think happens? I bet it wasn't that. When I paused the tape and the ball was hanging in the air, you thought it was going in.
Everybody don't think it's
Bird
going in.
thought it was going in. Magic thought it was going in. I've seen this game before, and I still think it's going to go in.
Every time.
But it didn't. Pat Riley said it himself. We got lucky. And that, a missed shot in the NBA Finals, is why he's the clutchest.
Like literally, for Pat Riley, the coach, to watch Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and James Worthy kick butt out there on the basketball court, coach them boys, be the brains behind the operation with less of a intense mindset because he's not actually playing. He's outside he's an outside observer looking in. For him to say that we got lucky explains it all. Larry Bird is going down as the clutchest basketball player in history, the one and only basketball genius, the original GOAT of all time. But, you know, too many people out here debating about it, so we just got to go with the flow. But, yeah, drop some in the comments what y'all think about Larry Bird. Y'all think Larry Bird clutch? Which I know y'all do. I just want to see what y'all going to say. Y'all think he the clutchest ever had played? Like, yeah, straight up, y'all think Larry Bird the clutchest player ever had played basketball? Drop that in the comments. And like the video too, y'all. Silly, let's get it.
Because after he makes the big plays, has the big games, hits the big shots, time and time again, you expect him to hit every shot, to win every game. And in those fleeting moments when he doesn't, when he looks like a mere human, when he looks like everyone else who tries to do what he does, you just can't believe it. That's what Larry Bird did. He made the big plays so often you thought he was going to make them every time. He helped turn basketball into a global phenomenon, paving the way for every Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, or LeBron James who comes through our lives. He played basketball in its purest form and captained a team that is consistently ranked among the greatest of all time. He has the second highest win percentage in the history of the NBA, behind Magic by less than 0.5%, about 10 games. He was the complete package, a player with no holes in his game whatsoever. They called him Basketball Jesus. He didn't get that name without doing something extraordinary.
Hold on now. They ain't calling Basketball Jesus now. Look, Basketball Genius is perfectly fine. We can call him a basketball god, but calling him Basketball Jesus is crazy, yo. That is crazy, man. I don't know what it is that made somebody come up with that nickname, but Basketball Jesus is literally a knock out the park. Like, come on now. That's a way far-fetched. But if y'all think he's Basketball Jesus, drop that in the comments. We can start calling him Basketball Jesus from now on. But I've never heard nobody call him that until I watched this video. So I don't think that we gonna ride out with that. But maybe, I don't know. I'm open channel.
He saved basketball. and he did it by playing it better than anyone else. Here's Magic at Bird's retirement in 1993.
Larry Bird said that there would be another Larry Bird one day. And Larry, there will never, ever, ever be another Larry Bird. To the greatest basketball player ever, but more important, a friend forever.
That's dope. I know we've always, I've always heard people, distinguish the fact that there's no other player that's going to be like Larry Bird. But in the up and coming year or two, we've watched a few players that not got the talent and smarts and basketball IQ of Larry Bird. They are professionals, so I'm not, hating on nobody and taking nothing away from them, what they doing, but I just got to leave Larry Bird in his own category at all times when it comes to those things. What do y'all think about the Joker that play for the Denver Nuggets right now? Now, I don't know if y'all still follow basketball. Everybody on the channel is following the NBA currently right now, but what do y'all think about the Joker that plays for the NBA, for the Nuggets right now? He's been getting. I think he got MVP about 2 years ago, maybe a year ago, whatever the case may be. And he won a finals with the Nuggets. He's not the fastest basketball player out there. He don't jump the highest. He's probably not the strongest. But when it comes to putting up points and carrying his team, he's done it on several occasions. Also, what do y'all think about Luka Doncic? On the same thing. He's not the fastest. He doesn't jump the highest. And he's not the strongest. What do y'all think about him? Because, when you ask me, those two players alone, maybe there are a few other, like Dirk Nowitzki for sure. Don't jump the highest, run the fastest, ain't the strongest. But what do y'all think about these three players? Do y'all think they got any, similarities to Larry Bird? Are they anywhere close to Larry Bird's stature as being a Hall of Famer and a clutch player that knocked down big shots when needed, carry the team, and so on and so forth? So drop some of the comments what y'all think about that. I am kind of curious because, as I watch them guys play, it does make me think like them guys kind of, do look like they've been practicing with Larry Bird, all their life. So I do personally think that Larry Bird has an effect on a lot of those players. But I just don't know how much, and I can't determine that because they're from overseas. All three of them. Dirk Nowitzki's not from America, Joker's not from America, and Luka's not from America. The only person in this conversation that's from America is Larry Bird. So, yeah, drop some of the comments what y'all think about that. Make sure y'all hit the like button as well. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and turn your notification bell on. That way you don't miss no future videos.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching. This was a really fun video to make, and I'm going to continue to make more of them, so please feel free to subscribe. And while you're at it, go ahead and check out my website, ballsandsuch.com, where I post things about, like, if the solar system was a basketball team, could...
Well, in that case, y'all, I didn't know that was the end of the video, but it was. I've already pretty much said everything that I wanted to say. I rest my case at that point. I do appreciate y'all again. Like I said, new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, put your notification bell on. Be sure to like the video. But other than that, it's your boy DtaeNoDinero, and we out. Peace.